Last year, 40% of consumers worldwide stopped purchasing from brands that they thought were greenwashing. But what is greenwashing, and how can we stop it? In this video, I'm going to show you how smart regulation can help companies to go green and boost their brand credibility. Hello everyone, I'm the co-founder and editor-in-chief of a communications platform where storytellers like you can earn money and build an audience by sharing their knowledge with the world. If you want to learn how to tell your story and monetize your expertise, make sure to subscribe to our channel. The first step to stopping greenwashing is for companies to get serious about going green. You can't go green overnight. It's a journey. So where should companies start? Well, let's look at some examples. One way to go green is to reduce your company's carbon footprint. This could involve switching to renewable energy sources, investing in energy efficiency measures, or reducing waste and pollution. Another way to go green is to develop sustainable products and services. This could include using recycled materials, reducing packaging, or developing products that are easily recyclable. Or you can take a page out of Patagonia's book and think about the entire life cycle of your product. Or you can take a page out of Interface's book and use business as usual to make money, but donate a portion of your profits to nonprofit organizations focused on protecting and restoring the environment. And here's why these efforts are important. Today, more than ever before, people are demanding transparency from brands, especially younger generations. A recent study found that 65% of millennials and 73% of Gen Z would stop buying from a company if it was caught in a sustainability lie. But how can people trust your promises of going green? That's where smart regulation comes in. Smart regulation is a flexible framework that helps companies measure, manage, and communicate the impact of their products and services on society and the planet. It allows them to translate complex data into clear, concise, and credible claims that build trust with customers and drive sales. There are 3 steps to implementing smart regulation in your company. Step 1, measure your impact. Step 2, set goals and targets. Step 3, track your progress. Let's look at each one in detail. The first step to implementing smart regulation in your business is to measure your impact. Smart regulation is based on the idea of materiality, which means that a company must consider the impacts of its operations and activities that are most important to its stakeholders. The best place to start measuring your impact is with the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, or SASB standards. These standards were created to help businesses identify and report on the sustainability issues that matter most to their investors. They do this by providing a common set of metrics and disclosures that companies can use to report on their performance. SASB standards are based on the concept of double materiality, which means that a company must consider both the impacts of its operations on the environment and the impacts of environmental issues on the company's operations. For example, a company's greenhouse gas emissions will have an impact on the environment. At the same time, changes in the environment, such as more frequent extreme weather events, can also impact the company's operations. SASB standards are sector-specific, meaning that there are different standards for different industries. This makes sense because the sustainability issues that are most important to investors will vary depending on the industry. For example, the SASB standard for the apparel and footwear industry includes metrics related to water use and greenhouse gas emissions, while the standard for the automotive industry includes metrics related to air quality and waste management. Each SASB standard includes a list of metrics that companies must disclose. Metrics are specific measures that companies can use to track their performance on a particular issue. For example, one metric in the apparel and footwear SASB standard is water withdrawal and consumption per employee. This metric measures the amount of water that a company withdraws and consumes per employee. It's important to note that these SASB standards are not mandatory, but many companies are choosing to use them to report on their sustainability performance. This is because investors are increasingly interested in sustainability and are using sustainability information to make investment decisions. By using the SASB standards, companies can provide investors with the information they need to make these decisions. But what if you don't want to use the SASB standards? No problem. There are other options available to you. For example, you can use the Global Reporting Initiative or GRI standards. The GRI is another organization that has developed standards for sustainability reporting. The GRI standards are more general than the SASB standards and can be used by companies in any industry. Or you can use the UN Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. The SDGs are a set of 17 goals that were adopted by the United Nations in 2015. The goals are a call to action for all countries and all stakeholders to work towards a more sustainable future. Companies can use the SDGs as a framework for their sustainability efforts and report on their progress towards achieving the goals. Once you've identified the issues that are most important to your stakeholders and measured your impact on those issues, the next step is to set goals and targets. Setting goals and targets is an important part of the SMART regulation framework. It helps companies to focus their efforts on the issues that are most important to their stakeholders and to track their progress over time. When setting goals and targets, companies should consider the following. First, they should be specific and measurable. This will help the company to track its progress and make adjustments as needed. Second, they should be relevant to the company as operations and the issues that are most important to its stakeholders. Third, they should be time-bound. This will help the company to stay focused and motivated. Fourth, they should be ambitious but achievable. And fifth, they should be communicated to stakeholders. This will help to build trust and transparency. Once you've set your goals and targets, the next step is to track your progress. Tracking progress is an important part of the SMART regulation framework. It helps companies to monitor their performance over time and make adjustments as needed. When tracking progress, companies should use a variety of methods to collect data and information on their performance. They should also regularly review their progress and make any necessary adjustments. Companies can track their progress against their goals and targets using a variety of methods. They can use internal data and information, such as data from their operations and financial statements, or they can use external data and information, such as data from NGOs or industry associations. Companies can also use a variety of tools to track their progress, such as dashboards and scorecards. It's important that companies track their progress regularly and make any necessary adjustments. This will help them to improve their performance over time and ensure that they're meeting the needs of their stakeholders. In addition to tracking their progress against their goals and targets, companies should also communicate their performance to stakeholders. This can help to build trust and transparency and show stakeholders that the company is committed to improving its sustainability performance. Companies can communicate their performance in a variety of ways, such as through their website, social media, or sustainability reports. Here's how SMART regulation can benefit your business. SMART regulation can help businesses to enhance their brand credibility. By measuring, managing, and communicating their impact in a credible way, businesses can build trust with customers and investors who are increasingly looking for more sustainable options. SMART regulation can also help businesses to improve their operations. By identifying and addressing the sustainability issues that matter most to their stakeholders, businesses can improve their environmental and social performance. And finally, SMART regulation can help businesses to innovate. As businesses work to reduce their impact and develop more sustainable products and services, they may also find new opportunities to innovate and differentiate themselves from their competitors. Overall, SMART regulation is a win-win for both businesses and society. By taking steps to measure, manage, and communicate their impact in a smart and credible way, businesses can build trust with stakeholders, improve operations, and drive innovation. Now that you know how SMART regulation can help your business succeed, it's time to put it into practice. Take a look at some of our previous work on the topic. We've written extensively on SMART regulation and how to implement it in your business. Our articles are a great place to start your research, and we also have a number of webinars and podcasts available. If you want to dive deeper into the topic, we also have a team of experts who can help you with your SMART regulation journey. From strategy development to implementation and evaluation, we can help you every step of the way.